So, yes. This is not an update on the Starship locations, actually. This is an update on posts that have updated. There's a lot of work construction going on over there, so obviously you can hear it in the background. This is an update on the Orville Season 4. I made an earlier post debunking a post. Now I have to make another post debunking the same post. And now it's spread all over the internet and that's fine. Enthusiastic fans about the Orville Season 4, that's fine. But the clickbait, guys, stop. Okay? The now actual like sidetrack picked it up. MSN picked it up. Some other main websites have picked it up because I wasn't the only one that posted, but others posted. My channel's not that big. There's no way my channel had any effect on it. But apparently some others were influencers, and they went out and they got some of their opinion editorial articles published on actual like Screen Crush and Screen Rant and MSN and some of the other ones. Those are still editorials. Those are editorials. There has been no official word, from what I could find of the actual trades, Vanity and the other ones, about the actual trades. There's been no official announcement about Orville Season 4 at all. It's the same stories from back in April. They're cycling back through again and again and again. And every time the trending bots go there, it's the same thing again and again and again. They keep saying, oh, but D23, which was about to happen when I did the last update. And Seth MacFarlane did not say anything at D23 about it. He talked about the TED series that he was making. I can't imagine why that's going to be successful at all. And doing other things. He did not talk about it. He said, oh, there's things that are happening. That is not a confirmation. So I was actually wrong in one of the comments saying there's a confirmation. No, there was not a confirmation. It's, again, the same set of rumors. And I don't know why on his ex-Twitter page he doesn't just come out and say, we don't know. But it's kind of what he should say. We don't know. There was a Las Vegas convention, apparently, about 6 months ago now, where Scott Grimes said production might begin in January 2025, causing this whole thing to happen. Might begin. They cut the might out. Production begins January 2025. He said might. He doesn't know. He's not a producer on the show. He's an actor on the show. He's his good friend, but he's an actor, so he doesn't know. He has no idea. And if he did, and if he had an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, he wouldn't be talking about it. He clearly doesn't, because he doesn't know. None of them know. Adrian Palacki is not coming back if they do another one. Now there's and the other guy who played Moffat died. He ain't gonna do it, obviously. So it's clickbait at this point. Until you hear an official announcement, again, reiterating this, an official announcement from not just MacFarlane, but Disney Hulu. And it's not Hulu anymore, it's Disney Plus. They bought out Hulu, it's completely Disney Plus. They're going to enfold that. It's going to be just Hulu, Disney Plus. Hulu is going to go bye-bye. Like they did with HBO Max over there at WB. So they're going to, from what I've been able to read up on. So the update is they still don't know anything. The actors don't either. The other actor, the guy who played the chief engineer, was also on there, being cagey and saying, I've seen a script. And then some other actor person said, you know what would be a good idea is if they did the Sympathy for the Devil, the book, the one of the episode book, lost episode from last season. They're not going to do that. I can tell you they're not going to do that because you don't go back. It would be like, oh, we're going to do like, Lost Next Generation or DS9 episode from season before. We're just going to do that. They're never going to do that. Hollywood does not do it like that. They don't decide, hey, we're gonna we're going to just adapt one of our books. It is unheard of to do that. The only way they would ever do that, the only people that do that are fans, and that's fine. It's fine to have fans or enthusiastic fans. I do that kind of stuff with my stuff and Friends Tech stuff and Star Trek stuff. I'm adapting some of my stuff as Starship Locations, some of my older stuff, because I figured why not? But it's unthinkable in Hollywood. Hollywood would not do that. That's not a safe bet. Hollywood will go with a safe bet. They'll go with the stuff that works. They'll go with probably repetitious stuff. They love that. They'll go with origin stories. They seem to be into that. But that doesn't mean they'll do the story about the devil. I understand it's a very good story, but it's a novel and it's not an episode. And they're not doing anything right now. They're just not. Stop. You can do it if you want to. You can go on there and say, you can go on there and you can say, all right, clickbait, go with your absolutely have confirmed the clickbait thing. But yeah, you're just going to lose subscribers because eventually they're going to figure it out that you're making that up. I mean, yeah, eventually you can run the long game and say, all right, they'll come back. Well, they don't. They don't come back. My channel had thousands of subscribers back in the day, and they were all most of them have disappeared, not for lack of content, but just for they weren't interested in that particular venue of fan film animation stuff without a lot of content in the background, assets taken from other people. I didn't do it that way. I do like a Redcast, or I do a parody fan film where it's my own original content. No AI, original content. The only time there's any computer-generated stuff used, mentioned in the credits, is freeware or pictures or video from something, and it's usually freeware, usually Paxels, or that's the name of it, Paxels, or one of the other ones. Sometimes Shutterfly, sometimes the other, and that freeware stuff has since popped up everywhere as well. Especially the blue planet with the moons and the ring popped up everywhere on everybody's site. That's freeware. So it's not mine. I don't own it. But that's the only thing. And the rest of it's like that. And some people complained, okay, why doesn't it put up content reviews, do a movie review? Well, our channel can't do a movie review. The minute I do any trailer footage from an actual upcoming movie or do it movie, I will get flagged by the studio. They will immediately flag it and they'll go, you can't put that up there. You don't have permission. So some of these other bigger names, like the Red Letter Media and the Can't Be a Show and whatever, they have not so much the Can't Be Show. No, they're rant block too. They really just put a picture in the back. Red Letter Media, Filmetto, Screen Crush, a bunch of those CinemaSins. They all get permission. They got lawyers or something, and they get permission and to do the thing. They would know. So when those other ones know, when the Can't Be a Show officially says, Variety said, and they haven't. When they do, okay, they're gonna do another Orville. But until you hear it on the Can't Be Show, until you hear it on one of those, or hopefully you don't hear about it on YMS. Your movie sucks. That they also use footage. Hopefully you don't hear it on there because that would imply the movie sucks. But yes, there's nothing going on right now. If I were to hazard a guess, Scott Grimes jumped the gun 6 months ago. He was like, "Oh, yay! Here's my guess and stuff," and probably kind of meant it as a joke. I think he was just like, I just want people to come to my Twitter account, my Instagram and stuff. Check it out. My Facebook. Even the Facebook sites don't say. There's until you hear it from not fans of Seth MacFarlane. Until you hear it from Seth MacFarlane, it is not happening. Now, there could be something behind the scenes that is happening. It could be this is an NDA. That still applies. There could be something they're saying like, okay, we don't know. But the season, we don't know. So the Orville season 4 is not confirmed. The Orville season 4 is a guess from fans. If I were to hazard a guess as a independent scriptwriter person, They have a couple of scripts. There may be a handful of scripts for season 4, and they're trying to shop it around to go back and forth to Disney and see whether they want to do it. And they might say no. They might say we don't want that, and we might just go to Netflix instead, or something like that. Like when the fans got together and they said, well, they canceled Star Trek Prodigy. Some of them came back together, and mainly Trek Yards and some of the other guys said, okay, we're gonna put it on Netflix instead. They put it on Netflix to air the final. Of course, in that case, I would have mentioned that other. Well, what about that? That Netflix. Well, in that case, they already had a finished season. It was already finished, and it had accidentally aired in France as well. So they already had a season to air of that show. There was already written and filmed and shot, and it was just sitting there, unused, and then they released it a couple of months ago, and the whole thing fell swoop on Netflix. Yeah, so yeah, it was already done. If the Orville season 4 was actually done, then they could say, okay, we're going to confirm. But that isn't what they're doing. They're saying, well, we don't know. Yeah, we can't get Seth MacFarlane to commit. And if he's committed to another show called Ted, which is new, he's probably not doing it. I wouldn't think. But it'd be nice if he'd come out and say, all right, we're not doing it. Disney said no. We'll do this other show instead for this other guy. I don't know how that Ted show's going to work anyway. The movies weren't that great. But that's up to him. He's a Hollywood guy. I'm not. But yeah, there's all you got to do is do a little research online. You can find that there's nothing to the rumors. Just stop it, guys. Come on. There's whispers and rumors, basically. People going, KG actors coming out and going with a wink and a nod. Even Seth in the comment, there's something coming. Even his comment, well, that's pretty vague. There's something coming. What does that mean? Come on. Seth, tell us what the something is. There was another D3 in Brazil. He wasn't there. There was another reason. There's another one. He wasn't there. He didn't go to that. He wasn't there. And if he was, he didn't say anything about it because they would have covered that too. Yeah, I didn't think there was a D3 in Brazil. Who knew? D23 should be like its own thing over there in Anaheim, I would think. Yeah, it's different, yeah. So they're even misreporting that. It's like, that didn't happen. There's no, yeah. Certainly not an adaptation of the novel. There's no point. That would be really silly for them to do that. And this third season ended just fine. Why don't you just leave it at that? If they do like a substandard season 4 because all the fans want it, it's gonna suck. Anyway, it's like they've already wrapped it up. They had a wedding. They had the doctor marry the robot. The robots got together. End of the war. Perfect ending. Don't do any more of them. Now, one of the Calicat ideas got out there. Even though I'm not an influencer, they're gonna make an Orville movie. Maybe it'll be about sympathy for the devil. No, I was commenting. I was guessing, I was being facetious, I was saying, well, half facetious, I was saying, this would be a good idea, and they would take that line out, this would be a good idea, do a movie, and then they're running with that on other channels and stuff. No, nobody said in the production, I'm not in the production, nobody said in the production, they were going to do that, they're going to make a movie, nobody said that. It's a fan, came out and said there's going to be a movie. JP, stop. So the clickbait channel, we're not flagging or anything. We're not doing that. We're not mean. But it's like, and we're not edging you. But it's like, yeah, you guys, I know you get the Orville docking Orville thing and whatever. It's like, yeah, we're just saying it's your opinion. You have to say that in the tagline. People are going to go to your channel just to think that you want that it's going to happen when you don't know that it's going to happen. You have not talked to them. And you have not. And you put up interviews and content from them. Disney's gonna flag you, I would think, because you can't do that. Yeah, that's their stuff. If you can't, and you were complaining. This guy, some of the other fans too, were complaining that their site was getting flagged by Disney and Hulu, rightfully, for using content and interviews from the DVD box set and whatever, and some other places. And we're not Disney. It wasn't us. No, we don't have any power like that. It wasn't us. And it was Disney. They flagged you. They sent their bots out. They were like, yeah, you can't talk about this. And then they took that as, oh, there must be something happening because they blocked it. It's like, no, they blocked it because you played their content from their DVD box set or whatever, or their website or something. Don't do that. That's what happened. If you eliminate the impossible, the improbable must therefore be the truth. Occam's razor clearly indicates, yes. Yeah. So yeah. So if there is something, I'm sure the real trades will be the first people to know. And granted, there is a website that just did similar to this, that the Trexas beer site, and they were all, yeah, it's clickbait. Yeah, it's going to be exactly like that. It's clickbait. There's no confirmation. So the confirmation comment on the website, on this other guy's website, was wrong, and the Calcat channel was wrong. So this is a disclaimer. This is a retraction, saying like I was wrong. It was yet more clickbait. No, it's not happening. Seth is extremely cagey about what he's doing next. He's not going to talk to the fans about this. Like, why not? Ooh, it's getting kind of crazy over there. It's getting to be a clown show. He doesn't know. I'm guessing that he's probably in negotiations, but can't say. And you have to have content before you can have a story. Maybe they don't even have any scripts written. Production begins in 2025. What does that mean? What does Scott Grimes mean? Is he going to do it instead of McFarlane? Because I don't think so. And without the character of Kelly, how could you have a season anyway? You have to have Kelly. You have to have Andrea Plecki. You can't do it without her. It's not possible. But yes. So yeah, just enjoy your 3 seasons, and well, it's fine. Don't, yeah. Yeah, enjoy the 3 seasons. They ended fine. The 3rd season was actually quite a bit darker and more like Next Generation. It's fine. I know I did a little reviews of the Orville, so this is an update of that. So yeah, they don't know anything. They don't until you hear it on something major. Like the Campia show, Variety sometimes prints and stuff. Until CBR actually prints something that isn't in their editorial section. That was an editorial. And they took the information from Screen Crush, which took the information from the other guy, which took the information from Cinema Brate, I think it was, one of the other websites. So if you go back to Chain of Command all the way back, discover that, it was put up by a fan as an editorial. Confirmation, that was a fan did that. It's just an editorial they reposted. And what's funny is it goes back to Talking to Orville, Talking to Orville. Goes back to that. They quote him in there. It's like, but he's another fan. He's not production. He's a fan. He's a fan. He's a popular fan. He's an influencer, but he's a fan. He doesn't know anything. He's just publishing the content that Disney keeps flagging him because he's like, I'm going to post my content. Yeah. So yeah. Well, but here I'm in this other studio. It's quite cool. Yeah, and I got like a whole thing and the setup and everything. Get to see all this random stuff behind me. Neat. But yeah, this is not that. They even confused what I'm doing here for that because I had said something to the effect of that a lot of season 1 of the Orville seems a lot like Canary Space in some ways. Well, that's because they read my book like 5 years ago. They read it. Okay. Yeah. But no. No, wait, that doesn't match up with season two. That matches up with season two, not one. But that's season two. Yeah, but no, it's not because they read the book. It's because sci-fi ideas, I'm kidding. Sci-fi ideas, the premise that you have a story where Star Trek was always a reflection of humanity through aliens. So Orville was that as well. They had like a machoistic male-dominated culture that was twisted, and the women rise up. Okay, Star Trek, very Star Trek-like, feminist movement spoof kind of thing. They have a robotic race like the Borg that are unstoppable. They're okay. They got that. We had that back in the day as well. Yeah, things like that is like, yeah. Or you have different species wanting to become transhuman or transsexual or they're an alien that a jelly creature that turns and shapeshifts and stuff, or they're a creature that shapeshifts to that, or they're a wolf man or a dog man or alien man or something. And that kind of stuff is like, yeah, pretty generic from sci-fi. So it wasn't that he copied Canary Space. It's that he wouldn't have known. It's that it's similar ideas, which we, in reading, in retrospect, doing an update of some of my stuff, I noticed that like this sci-fi series we're doing over here, which had nothing to do with the Orville at all. Yeah, we found that, but looking back on it, it was basically ancient aliens, but not as dumb. Actually, better ancient, sort of better written ancient aliens, which is fine. The Orville was trying to be next generation. Although season 3 was more Deep Space Nine. Yeah. Anyway, so that is my take on the rumors. I wouldn't even trust it if Seth said on his Twitter, production might be happening. I want to hear it, him being quoted, not from April, not from August either, that convention, the other convention. I want to hear it from right now, approaching December. If he does like a Thanksgiving blog, and he says, all right, we're actually in production because I had to make all these deals and everything. If he actually says that, and then the Campia show covers it, and says, oh, officially Seth MacFarlane came out, and he's talked about it. That has not happened. It hasn't happened, so it could happen. Probably won't now that we have a new presidential administration. Probably won't. There's nothing really for them to do. But also the idea that they might not actually have completed enough scripts to take their content to Disney Plus and say we finished a bunch of scripts. Here they are. Can we get the money to rebuild the studio? Don't know whether they tore everything down. They might have or stored it away. That'll take a while. So even if they do start production in January, even if they do, it'll take a while to do another one. I think what they should do is kind of a spin-off, or a movie. But they probably won't do a movie. They won't bank on that. There's fans of the show that's not going to make any money. I mean, the fans are very avid. They're kind of like Star Trek fans. They're very similar to Star Trek fans. And they would like a movie, but I don't think it would make any money for the mainstream audience. If you want to make a movie for your mainstream audience, and then they try to think outside the box with like movies that aren't in mainstream, and it doesn't work. Like, you have Sony with the Spider-Verse without Spider-Man in it. The movies don't work because he's just not in it. That's why. And scripts aren't very well done. The later Disney Plus Star Wars shows where they have the one taking place hundreds of years in the past, the Acolyte, and the other one, the Ahsoka, and the other ones, and they throw the member berries in there. We've been there too. We've been over that. But I have not seen Ahsoka and I haven't seen Acolyte, so I can't say. I haven't seen it. I've heard a lot of stuff about it, but I haven't seen it. I haven't had a Disney Plus subscription for a year, so I wouldn't know what happened after. The last Star Wars series I saw in there was a Book of Boba Fett and Kenobi and Mandalorian season 3, and then I stopped. don't know after Mandalorian season 3 what they're doing over there. Yeah, we haven't been in the Disney universe for a while now, since 2023 or so. But yeah, haven't been brought back. Yeah, Paramount either. But in terms of like, actually, I still do have the Paramount subscription. I should say, yeah, Paramount. They're still over there. I have a subscription. But yeah, we will see. Yeah, the things have moved around. There's not really yeah. So yeah, you can keep clickbaiting, doing that stuff if you want to, but you can lose subscribers. This is probably not a good idea. They're just gonna stop going to your channel. And I only lost them because I didn't have content from other people, and they just weren't coming there. But that wasn't my fault. I didn't want to have content from other sources, so I do my own. It's not AI generated. That stuff is nightmare fuel. I guess yeah. So let's see. Whoever, trying to think of other sources that would be credible. Yeah, I mentioned Variety and Campia, but what other sources would be credible? Maybe the Guardian. Maybe some of the direct trades over there. The CBR, if it's not in the TV Watch, the company, the ones that do the shows and stuff, because the streaming shows don't show up on the cancellation renewal charts of the TV Watch and the other stuff, because it's not technically TV, it's streaming. It's a different animal. Streaming actually brings in revenue in a different way because people pay for subscription. It's not by ratings. It's not Nielsen's. Back in the day, TV was Nielsen ratings, you see. And there would be Nielsen families around. I wasn't one of them. We weren't one of them, but there were neighbors that were. Yeah, and they would check the Nielsen's for shows that were. That's how they would do it. But with streaming, you don't know at all really until it comes out. But knowing how like Disney likes to rehash stuff, it'll probably happen, but it's only a probably. It's a definite maybe, let's say. But yeah, I'm sure that's what Grimes meant in April. He was probably just, a definite maybe, yeah, sure, production, sure, January. Maybe he just wanted the guy to stop talking to him about it. Probably there was probably like an earlier clip. 3 other people probably asked him, and finally just said, okay, whatever. Yeah, January, sure. They got quoted a million times, and now he can't get away from it. And he's a comedian, so he probably didn't mind that. But yes, but yeah, the others, and they could bring the 2 other girls, the strong girls from the Strong Planet, bring them back, maybe. But yeah, the season 3 ended fine. Just leave it at that. That's fine. Yeah, but if they do, then they do. But you haven't heard it from him. You've heard it from fans pretending to be them. Don't do that. Anyway, no, just don't do that. That's not cool. No clickbait. I would be one of the first to say, yeah, that's great. They're gonna do it. Yeah. But yeah. Excellent journalism person, probably say, yeah, that's clickbait's not gonna, eventually they're gonna know that you're just making it up. But yes, not an influencer. So these other guys are influencers. Only a local influencer. One of them, like, the cast goes to the Fanime and the comic conventions. Then they know, that's that guy. Local internet guy. I know of a couple of other ones that are actually influencers that do other stuff. But they don't know anything about the Orville, so don't ask. They don't. They really don't. They're like, oh, what's that? Yeah, what's that? Yeah, if they do, they do. But I would think with another show on the horizon in January, the show they're actually talking about in January 2025 is called Ted. That's the name of the show, and that's all I gleaned from it. Ted. That's not the Orville. That's another show he's working on. Yeah. That's what he. So he wasn't lying when he said, well, "There's something happening." There is something. It's not what you thought, but it's something. He is a comedian, remind you. We'll see, but. Yeah. Jalusha.